Baxter was not very happy not being allowed on the furniture. But what I've learned, and I think the primary cause for Baxter's issues is Baxter really didn't have any rules. He's been involved with one of the guardians for 8 years, and now the other guardian came in 2 years ago. And I think Baxter looks at the other guardian as a rival, a Lothario, for lack of better words. So basically, he thinks that this new guy is cheating on and making good time with his woman. So in order to help Baxter feel like a follower, we need to incorporate rules and structure so he starts to self-identify as a follower. Now, we just got done going over some rules that we can incorporate. Now, he's biting to correct me, but he's not drawing blood. And dogs generally bite pretty consistently when they want to correct. So that's a good sign that he's not drawing blood. Is he drawing blood with your significant other?
Occasionally. Rarely.
Usually, yeah, it's a bite, but he's not drawing blood. That's more of a, maybe he pulls away at the wrong time. Okay, so I asked if he comes and nudges with his nose. A lot of dogs will stick their nose underneath like this and kind of nudge your arm as his way of saying, pet me, pay attention to me. Well, when he does that, he's essentially giving us an order, pet me. And if I pet him when he does that, then I'm validating, yes, you're the boss of me, because when you tell me what to do, I do it. So what I would suggest you do is I consider petting a dog, well, I've created a concept I call petting with a purpose. So I consider petting a dog our way of paying them. Now when I go to work, now my job is a little different, I enjoy what I do, but generally we go to work, there's things that we don't like doing at work, but we do anyways because we get paid, that's part of the deal. Well, right now he gets paid for doing what he wants to do, pet me, and then he gets petted. He doesn't have a lot of motivation. So what I would suggest you do is next time he nudges you, instead of petting him, tell him to sit or to lay down. Sitting and laying down are more subordinate body postures, so that helps him adopt a more of a mindset of being respectful. And as soon as he sits, I usually pet under the chin, and I say sit. And I just say the command word. I don't say good sit, I don't say good boy. The more words we use, the harder it is for him to figure out which word is associated with the action. So if we make it simple by just saying one word, sit, and he sits, and I pet him and say sit at the same time, then that becomes synonymous. Now, after a while, what will happen is instead of nudging you or jumping up on you, he's just going to come and sit in front of you saying, I'm sitting, shouldn't you be paying attention to me? And as much as we can, we should. We reach over and pet him, but not always. Sometimes we're doing other things. It's a good lesson for him to learn that I don't always get my way either. So after a while, he'll start doing that more often, and then when you ask him to sit in different capacities, it's going to be easier for him to do that. And it introduces the concept, I can't tell the humans what to do. I can ask. But they make me pay for it. My currency is obedience. So if I want something and I do the thing that they want, then I get a little bit of reward. Otherwise, the old days, I just got rewarded for doing whatever I wanted to do. So I did whatever I wanted to do and I paid no mind to anybody else. But now we have a young addition to the family and we have another significant other in the family. So the dog needs to learn to adapt a new, more communal vibe. Petting with a purpose. I usually recommend telling people to not pet their dogs at all unless the dog does something to earn it first. Now, if you decide you want to pet the dog, he's just there and he's not nudging you, you can pet him that way. But by asking him to sit, it only takes a half second. It's super easy. And every time you do that, it's a mini obedience training session. So instead of actually sitting down and spending 2 minutes, 3 minutes training him a couple times a day, every time we ask him to sit, before we pet him, we just sit and pet him. After a while, you don't even think about it. You just do it automatically. But every time we do it, it helps him see, I have to ask them for something. Petting with a purpose is probably the easiest thing that you can do that will have the biggest impact on his behavior in terms of the time involved. That's what I like to call petting with a purpose.